Hey everybody, welcome to another Homeschool Haven Spotlight. We are spotlighting a parent named Katie today. I'm going to tell you a little bit about her and dive into her questions. So, Katie is a single widowed mama who is also an elementary school nurse. Her kids are home this year, and she has kind of three questions for us. She's got a 3-year-old who loves being a part of everything, an 8-year-old in 3rd grade, and a 6-year-old in 1st grade. And she's going to be sharing some of the teaching this year with her parents who will be there on the days that Katie's at work. And so her first question is, any tips for sharing parent to grandparent teaching responsibility? Her second question has to do, she said, my kids don't thrive with screens all the time, which is probably part of the reason I imagine that you chose not to do the virtual option that your district is offering this year. But she's like, I don't mind it for a little bit, but let's see. Your exact words were, don't want solely computer-based because kids don't care for screens too much, but would rather be hands-on. But you don't mind videos and apps for kind of variety and things too, so to kind of supplement in there. As far as curriculum goes, for language arts and math, she said she doesn't want to be overwhelmed. She's leaning towards Singapore for math and logic of English for her language arts. And then maybe how to have a family style something for science and social studies so that grandma and grandpa can be a part of that. Okay, so you've been in my brain lots and lots. And here's what I'd do if I were you, Katie. Take it, however you think it will help. And you obviously know what you're going to be best for your family. So I take care of my parents. They lived with us for several years. We live close to one another now. And we have experimented a lot with having grandma and grandpa be part of being the teacher too at our house. And I honestly found that we've tried it all. We've tried some different family style ones where we just passed back and forth. We've tried here you be in charge completely, here, all sorts of stuff. And honestly, if I were in your shoes, here's what I would do. Science and social studies would go to grandma and grandpa, but through reading. I would make grandma and grandpa have a lot of fun with a lot of reading with their kids. We really like, Michelle and I love Sarah Mackenzie. I'll put her post down here. In fact, I better write these down as I'm saying what I will post, because sometimes these just pop into my mind. And I wasn't planning on mentioning Sarah Mackenzie, so I want to make sure I remember to put her down there. But just the power of reading with your child is so huge. And I have a girlfriend who, when she was really sick one year when she homeschooled, and she had she was so sick she could not get up very much, and she thought, oh, what am I doing? How is this going to work? How are they going to progress this year? And she made her 2 priorities. I'm going to get through math with every child every day, and then we're just reading. We're going to read and read and read and read, and that's all I can do, and I'm going to hope that this works. And at the end of the year, her contact teacher calls, and she's like, what did you do? Like, your kids did so great on the testing. Their work samples that they had to turn in through what was mandated in their area in Alaska were all tied back to their different reading projects and things that they'd been doing that year. And she said, this just looks great. I want to pass it on to other parents. And my girlfriend laughed herself to tears practically, because she just was like, oh my goodness, that's what we did. We read and we did math. And so I really think if you found a routine for making grandma and grandpa in charge of reading lots of great science and social studies books with your kids, that would work great. And then throw in a few experiments there throughout the year. I'll put a few in the comments that I'd say, hey, find a bunch of books around growing the bean plant in the window that you see happen a lot at school. And let your kids have a magical time reading with grandma and grandpa as much as possible on those days. So if you have any more questions about how to clarify that, or want to, get more in Stephanie's brain over that, I know that's just a general idea there, but I don't want to take the next hour of your day, but feel free to let me know. Second, then that being said, I would be the main language arts and math teacher on my days that I had off from work. And if there was ever any supplements or any additional homework that I could have grandma and grandpa do with them, then that's how I would man that part, and just have you be in charge of those with an occasional maybe homework assignment that they could figure out with grandma and grandpa, or some sort of a supplement. I've been thinking a lot about you too in terms of the compass that Michelle and I put together. I'll put that in the links here too as a possibility for you. That the screen portion involved in the compass that we've outlined would be only about 30, maybe 40 minutes a day for your kids. And then everything else there you'd be able to share relatively smoothly with you in charge and with your parents too. So you have been talking to your to the other teachers at your elementary school, and I can just say amen, amen, amen to what they said about just with the virtual learning happening this year and it being a transitional year. And if you just kind of make those language arts experiences happen, that they're going to be fine. And a big part of that is going to be just grandma and grandpa reading to them. That's going to do so much for them. So anyways, let me make sure that I got to all of your questions here and the thoughts that I had for you. You had talked about logic of math and Singapore. Those will be, I think we mentioned that in our comments too. Those are a little bit more parent intense as far as you sitting down with your child on a regular basis. So for me, I would get Singapore running really good and make that happen. Like even take a month to just focus on you doing Singapore math and getting that routine happening with your third grader and your first grader, while grandma and grandpa are doing lots of reading, because that will cover so much of their language arts, just lots and lots of wonderful reading experience. And then once you feel like math is under you in 4 to 6 weeks, then add whatever your language arts component is and get that going as well. And then you just do that with them from time to time. So again, I hope this helps. I think you're going to do fantastic. I hope you're feeling like you can do this. I mean, you've done hard things in your life. You're a nurse, you're an educated lady, and you can do this too for your kids. I promise they're not going to fall through the cracks at all. You know, there's just not, since you're asking these questions, it shows that you care, and the things that we care about, we have a way of figuring out and making work. We might stumble and bruise ourselves so awkwardly along the way. I do it all the time, but they're going to do great. It sounds like you've got a great setup. So please continue to say, hey, Steph, that wasn't quite what I was looking for. Can you go into more here? I'm happy to do that. But again, we are at almost 8 minutes, and who knows how long people actually watch these all the way to the end. So, you know, bonus invisibility points to whoever has. But I don't want to take all day, but I also wanted to give kind of a springboard. So let us know if there's anything else we can do. Best of wonderful things to you, and hopefully we'll hear from you if you need anything else. Thanks, Katie. Have a good day. Oh, and anybody that is listening to the end, if you are interested in being in a parent spotlight, I've got about 5 more parents to work through, and then we'll be posting on the Facebook page again saying, hey, what's keeping you up at night? Steph and Michelle will kind of consult with you a little bit through Facebook Messenger. We'll think about it. We'll put something like this together that's just very simple with some resources. And then you can feel free to reach out to us throughout the year, and we're happy to help in any way we can. Mwah. Bye, everybody.